You see, most people live in a state of survival, trying to control everything: when it will happen, how it will happen, where it will happen, who will bring it to them. And because they're constantly analyzing and overthinking, they don't realize that they're actually working against the very thing they're trying to create. This incessant need for control burns through their peace, tearing at the fabric of their reality with the sharp claws of anxiety and uncertainty. What if the secret to your greatest potential is not tightening your grip, but loosening it? What if true power lies in release and not restraint? Today we delve into the paradox that by releasing control, we might actually gain more of it. We explore how surrendering to the unpredictable waves of life can transform fear into freedom and turmoil into tranquility. Are you ready to let go of the reins and see where the journey takes you? Join me as we uncover the strength in vulnerability and the freedom that comes from embracing the unknown, stepping boldly into the space where fear used to live. In our everyday lives, many of us function as if we're trying to hold back a river with our bare hands, believing that the harder we grip, the more control we'll have over the currents of our destiny. Yet, what if I suggested that this very grip, this compulsion to control, is what prevents the river of life from carrying us to our desired destinations? Imagine for a moment letting go, allowing the river to flow freely, navigating its course naturally, enriching and expanding as it moves. This isn't merely poetic, it's a profound shift towards embracing the possibilities that life offers when we stop forcing and start flowing. Now let's delve a bit deeper into this idea. Stoic philosophy, which has permeated through centuries of Western thought, teaches us about the virtue of aligning with nature's flow. Marcus Aurelius once remarked, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's a powerful reminder that our true control lies not in the external, but within the realms of our thoughts and reactions. When we apply this Stoic wisdom, letting go doesn't mean losing control, but rather choosing to control where it truly matters, within ourselves. Expanding on this, consider how modern psychology intersects with these ancient teachings. Carl Jung once noted, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." This insight invites us to reflect on how much of our need for control is rooted in unconscious fears and unexamined beliefs. By making these elements conscious, we start to see that much of what we cling to does not serve our highest good or our deepest desires. Transitioning from the philosophical and psychological underpinnings, let's connect this to the quantum field concept, a fascinating realm where science and spirituality converge. Here, each thought and emotion doesn't just disappear. They contribute to the energy we emit, influencing the very fabric of our reality. If we're constantly emitting signals of control and fear, we're essentially telling the universe to keep us in a perpetual state of struggle. On the other hand, when we release our grip and trust in the flow, we align ourselves with the frequencies of abundance and ease. Our relaxed state sends out a welcoming signal to opportunities and synchronicities, aligning more closely with our aspirations. This approach of letting go and trusting isn't merely about wishing for change, it's about creating a receptive state that invites change. It requires us to shift our focus from fear to trust, from gripping tightly to opening up. This is not a passive state, but an active choice to engage with life in a more harmonious and aligned way. As we ponder these thoughts, it's natural to wonder about the impact of stress and anxiety on this process. How do these states of mind affect our ability to let go and flow with life's river? Building on the notion of embracing life's flow, it's critical to address the psychological barriers that frequently tether us to our comfort zones. These barriers are not mere inconveniences, They shape our reality, forging chains that are often invisible, fashioned from strands of fear, doubt, and a deeply ingrained sense of inadequacy. But what are these barriers exactly, and how do they manage to exert such control over our lives? At the core, many of these psychological barriers stem from a primal instinct: fear. Fear is not just an emotion, it's a survival mechanism that often oversteps its bounds, infiltrating areas of our lives where it no longer serves a protective purpose. Instead, it confines us, whispering incessantly about all the ways things could go wrong. Carl Jung pointed out, "What you resist not only persists, but will grow in size." It's a stark reminder that the more we fight against our fears, the more entrenched they become, turning molehills into mountains that overshadow our inner landscape. Stoicism offers a powerful countermeasure to this pervasive fear. It teaches us to distinguish between what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus elegantly captured this with his guidance: "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." This principle doesn't suggest passivity. Rather, it encourages a focused calmness, urging us to conserve our energy for battles we can actually win. This is where self-awareness plays a crucial role. By understanding our emotional triggers and acknowledging our habitual responses to them, we can begin to dismantle the walls that fear builds around our potential. Anxiety, a close relative of fear, also plays a significant role in these psychological barriers. It distorts our perception of reality, often making us feel as though we're in imminent danger when, in fact, we are not. This can lead to what psychologists call catastrophizing, the tendency to expect the worst, even when there is no rational basis for such expectations. Self-doubt is another formidable barrier, subtly undermining our confidence and decision-making capabilities. It seeds uncertainty in our abilities and often results in procrastination or inaction. To overcome this, we must lean into the wisdom of Seneca, who advised, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult." This shift in perspective is pivotal, transforming daunting challenges into surmountable tasks simply by altering our approach to them. Addressing these barriers requires more than just understanding. It requires transformation, a metamorphosis of our internal dialogue from one of limitation to one of possibility. This transformation is not instantaneous. It is a process, a peeling back of the layers of fear, anxiety, and doubt that have accumulated over years, perhaps even decades. As we shed these layers, we move closer to a state of openness, a state of receiving, where we are not merely reacting to life's challenges, but actively receiving life's opportunities. This transition from a reactive stance to a receptive stance is where true growth happens. What does it mean to shift into a state of receiving, where trust replaces fear and acceptance supplants anxiety, allowing us to fully embrace the abundance that life has to offer? As we navigate away from the rocky shores of psychological barriers, we find ourselves drifting towards a more tranquil sea, a state of receiving. This isn't just about being passive recipients of whatever life decides to throw our way. No, entering a state of receiving is an active engagement with the universe, where we open ourselves up not just to possibilities, but to the actual process of transformation and growth. To truly understand this shift, let's think about the nature of receptivity. It's akin to cultivating a garden. You prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and then you wait. You don't pull at the sprouts to hurry their growth. You nurture them, give them what they need, and then let nature take its course. In psychological terms, this equates to setting intentions and then letting go of the urge to control every outcome. Seneca remarked, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end." It's a profound reminder that to receive the new, we must first let go of the old, making room in the garden of our minds for new seeds to take root. This transition to a state of receiving is fundamentally about trust. Trusting the process involves more than just hope. It involves a belief in the cyclical nature of life, where endings and beginnings coexist seamlessly. Such trust reduces the noise of anxiety and the clamor of fear, allowing us to hear more clearly the opportunities knocking at our door. Carl Jung captured this sentiment when he stated, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." By becoming conscious of our ability to receive, we can actively influence what we once called fate. The art of receiving also challenges us to redefine our relationship with control. In a world that applauds the go-getters, the idea of receiving might feel counterintuitive. But consider this: does the earth go get the rain? Or does it simply receive it, utilizing it to nourish everything growing within it? Similarly, when we shift from a mindset of scarcity and control to one of abundance and acceptance, we align ourselves with the universe's rhythm, resonating with the energy that brings forth life and growth. Physiologically, this shift manifests in our bodies as a decrease in stress hormones and an increase in neurotransmitters associated with relaxation and happiness, like serotonin and dopamine. Our brain waves change from the high frequency of beta, often associated with anxiety and stress, to the more relaxed states of alpha and theta, where creativity and deep learning occur. This neurological transformation is not just about feeling better, it's about being better equipped to attract and receive the positive outcomes we desire. As we allow ourselves to receive, we also learn to recognize the abundance that surrounds us. It's about seeing that opportunities for happiness and growth are already present, not something that will arrive only when we achieve X, Y, or Z. It's about feeling gratitude for what is, which in turn attracts more of what can be. This is the principle behind the law of attraction, a concept that mirrors the Stoic belief in aligning with nature to achieve peace and fulfillment. Now, as we settle into this state of openness and gratitude, we naturally come to explore the power of belief. How does what we believe about ourselves and our capabilities influence our ability to receive? How do these beliefs either open us up to a world of possibilities or close us off, keeping us tethered to our old ways? In the illuminated paths of our minds where thoughts intertwine with feelings, there lies a profound force that shapes our very existence: belief. As we delve deeper into understanding this power, we recognize that belief isn't just about thinking. It's a comprehensive architecture that constructs our reality, influencing everything from what we perceive to what we achieve. It's here, in this exploration, that we uncover the extraordinary capacity of belief to both create and constrain. Belief acts as a lens through which we view the world. It colors our perceptions, informs our decisions, and dictates our responses. Carl Jung once profoundly noted, "It is not I who create myself, rather I happen to myself." This statement captures the essence of belief as something that isn't always consciously chosen, but is instead often a product of past experiences and external influences. However, by becoming aware of these underlying beliefs, we hold the power to reshape them, and in doing so, we can fundamentally transform our lives. Now consider the impact of positive beliefs. Imagine truly believing, without a shadow of doubt, that you are capable, deserving, and destined for greatness. This kind of belief does not merely simmer quietly within. It roars into every corner of existence, invigorating you with the confidence and fortitude to take action towards your dreams. Marcus Aurelius echoes this sentiment in his Meditations. Our life is what our thoughts make it. If our thoughts are steeped in strong positive beliefs, our lives can unfold in ways that surpass our boldest expectations. However, it's crucial to acknowledge that beliefs can also be limiting. Many of us harbor hidden scripts that hold us back. Beliefs about our worth, our potential, and our right to happiness. These are not just idle thoughts. They are chains that bind us, often subconsciously. Recognizing and challenging these beliefs is essential. It requires us to ask ourselves, what beliefs am I holding that might be limiting my ability to receive and appreciate the full spectrum of life's offerings? This introspection is the first step towards liberation from our self-imposed bounds. To change our beliefs, we must first identify them, then understand their origins, and finally, consciously choose to cultivate beliefs that align with our aspirations. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing a perspective that empowers rather than diminishes. The Stoics provide guidance here as well, particularly in their practice of reframing perspectives. They teach us that by changing our thoughts about an event, we can change our emotional response to it, demonstrating the malleability of belief and its impact on our emotional landscape. The transformative power of belief is further evidenced when we consider the placebo effect, a well-documented medical phenomenon where patients experience real changes in their health simply because they believe they are receiving treatment. This effect underscores the incredible influence of belief on the body as well as the mind. It shows us that the act of believing can manifest actual change, which begs the question, if belief can heal the body, can it not also heal the soul, mend the spirit, and transform life? As we nurture empowering beliefs, we set the stage for a life that reflects those beliefs. We become more open to opportunities, more resilient in the face of adversity, and more aligned with the essence of who we aspire to be. This alignment is not just about adjusting our attitudes, it's about aligning our very being with the frequencies of abundance, joy, and fulfillment. Let's bridge into understanding how, by letting go of outdated and limiting beliefs, and by embracing a more liberated way of thinking, we open up a new realm of possibilities. This crucial shift is not just about belief, it's about action and reaction, about releasing the old to make way for the new. The importance of letting go becomes clear as we see that to truly evolve, we must be willing to release those beliefs that no longer serve us, and instead embrace a vision of ourselves that is limitless. Letting go is a phrase often tossed around in discussions about emotional and psychological growth, yet its importance cannot be overstated. It's a profound, deliberate process of releasing those things in life that no longer serve us, be it old grievances, outdated beliefs, or unproductive habits. This process is not about loss, as some might fear, but about making room for new growth and experiences. It is a necessary step toward living a life that is not just reactive to past patterns, but proactive towards a brighter, more fulfilling future. The concept of letting go is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which teaches us the virtue of focusing only on what is within our control. Epictetus once said, "Some things are within our power, while others are not." Letting go involves a deep understanding of this principle, releasing our grip on what we cannot control to harness our energy for what we can influence. This is not giving up, it's a strategic choice to enhance our effective engagement with the world. Carl Jung's insights into the human psyche reveal the transformative potential of letting go. He proposed that by letting go of certain parts of our psyche, we make way for the process of individuation, a journey towards self-realization and wholeness. In the context of modern life, this means shedding those layers of identity and expectation that have been imposed upon us by others, so we can discover and affirm who we truly are. Letting go also involves an element of trust. Trust in the natural progression of life, in the wisdom of the universe, or whatever higher power one might believe in. It requires faith that what comes next could bring joy and fulfillment, even if it is currently unknown or unseen. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and fear, where every loss is viewed as a decrement, to a mindset of abundance, where every ending is seen as the precursor to a new beginning. The benefits of embracing this philosophy are tangible. Psychologically, letting go reduces stress and anxiety, as we no longer expend our energy worrying about things beyond our control. Physiologically, it can lead to reduced blood pressure, improved sleep patterns, and an overall sense of well-being. Emotionally, it frees us to experience a richer array of feelings and relationships, unencumbered by past hurts and grievances. Letting go is also crucial in relationships. It teaches us to forgive, not just others, but ourselves, allowing us to move forward without the heavy chains of past mistakes. It fosters healthier, more honest relationships, where old grudges and toxic patterns are replaced with open communication and mutual respect. Yet, the process of letting go is not without its challenges. It demands courage, the courage to confront the discomfort of the unknown, the courage to question deeply held beliefs, and the courage to face the possibility that who we are is not fixed, but fluid and evolving. As we contemplate the power and importance of letting go, we naturally begin to reflect on what it means in our own lives. What beliefs, grievances, or expectations are we holding on to that might be holding us back? How can we release these to make space for new growth? This reflection is not just an exercise in thought, but a call to action, a summons to engage actively with our lives, to clean house of all that clutters our mental and emotional landscapes, and to step boldly into a clearer, more open space. So, how can we apply the concept of letting go not just to our internal selves, but also to our actions and interactions? As we arrive at this juncture, the imperative shifts from understanding to doing, from absorbing wisdom to applying it. This is where the journey transcends the conceptual and becomes intimately personal and action-oriented. It's about transforming the aha moments into tangible steps that foster real change. The call to action isn't just about making adjustments. It's a profound invitation to live differently, to embody the lessons we've discussed in a way that impacts every facet of our lives. Let's consider this an opportunity to embark on a reflective exercise, one that asks us not merely to look back, but to peer inward. Carl Jung once asserted, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." This insight nudges us towards self-awareness, urging us to examine our internal landscapes with honesty and courage. It's time to ask ourselves some challenging questions. What are the beliefs, habits, and attachments that I cling to? Do they serve my highest good, or do they keep me tethered to a lesser version of myself? Reflection is the first step. Next comes the action, which is about making intentional choices. This might mean choosing to forgive, to let go of a grudge, or to stop an unhealthy pattern of behavior. It might mean deciding to take a risk, to try something new, or to step out of a comfortable routine in pursuit of growth. Marcus Aurelius offers wisdom on this front. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Here, he guides us not towards outward expression, but inward revolution, to transform ourselves in ways that old grievances and pains no longer define us. Moreover, reflection and action should also extend to how we engage with others. It's about bringing kindness, patience, and understanding into our interactions, recognizing that everyone is fighting their own hard battle. By acting with compassion, we not only uplift others, but also elevate ourselves, aligning our actions with the virtues we aspire to embody. This call to action also invites us to set practical goals, perhaps to incorporate daily practices that foster mindfulness and presence. Whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply spending a few quiet moments in nature each day, the aim is to cultivate a state of being that resonates with the principles we've discussed. By making these practices regular features of our lives, we anchor ourselves in the present, becoming more attuned to the subtle joys and lessons each moment offers. And as we implement these changes, let's remain fluid in our expectations. Change is a process, often non-linear and fraught with setbacks. But as Seneca reminds us, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Thus, let us dare to challenge our old patterns, to confront our fears, and to embrace the uncertainty that comes with genuine transformation. So, as we wrap up our discussion, consider this the beginning of a new chapter. This isn't just an end to our conversation, but a starting point for your personal evolution. As you move forward, carry these questions and insights with you and let them guide your actions and choices. Reflect on what changes you need to make. Identify the first steps towards making those changes, and then take action, boldly and with conviction. This is how philosophy turns into practice, how insights become transformations. Thank you for walking this path with us at Stoic Journal. Don't forget to watch one of our suggested videos on your screen to continue exploring the power of your own potential. Together, let's keep unlocking the doors to our best selves.